Welcome
to the Us,
the Amber and Sophie Show. Hi, I'm Amber.
And I'm Sophie.
And today we're starting a very controversial topic: how to get the bread as a sugar baby / gold digger.
So, Amber, were you ever once a sugar baby before?
Well, I wouldn't call myself as an expert, but I truly believe that it's a solid financial foundation is crucial for building a genuine love. And when it comes to finding love, I focus on a particular group of people, aiming to create a mutually beneficial relationship, and I benefit from it.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, and I hold the belief that there is a negative perception surrounding people who labeled as like sugar baby or gold diggers overlooks, and it's pretty much stigmatized in the current society. I have no judgments against the women who are seeking for a better life, and I wholeheartedly believe and support their aspirations. And after all, if you are a responsible adult, and I believe it's a nature to desire the best resources for your future kids, isn't it?
Yeah, I do think like you, but I don't. Okay, maybe in the next episode I will explain it more, but I don't really see myself as a gold digger at all. But I do understand your point of view. So, tell us, what was your worst mistake as a quote unquote gold digger?
Well, once I mistakenly claimed to be a gold digger in front of the guy that I was dating, and it had a negative impact. It happened during the first date with a guy. I just call him Ryan. So this Ryan guy took me to one of the most extravagant restaurants in town, and during dinner, he posed me a question about my perspective on gold diggers. And the situation becomes kind of awkward because who asked that, right?
Yeah.
And I had never been confronted so directly. And so I said, honestly, I expect a partner who take care of me, financially included, and would invest in my studies, my health, and build a future with me. And he goes, I just don't think at this stage of my life I have enough money to support others and make them happy. All the money I have I invested in, and it takes a long time, so actually to see the financial benefits, so I'm concerned that you won't be happy, as you probably expect to have a good life with me because you saw me, that I live quite a nice life. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, this is a big mistake. You don't call yourself a gold digger in front of the man that you want to, like, the guy you want to do the gold digging. Yeah, of course. But tell me more.
Would you think he's stingy?
Yeah, no, he's not stingy. No, you just told him, like, the hard truths that everybody, hide. You don't say that. There is also a difference between a gold digger and a sugar baby, because the relationship between a sugar baby and a sugar daddy is like they know they're a sugar baby. Yeah. So it's natural to say, yeah, I'm a sugar baby and you're my sugar daddy. But a gold digger is different because they hide their true intentions and they're trying to, like,
make them believe it's like true love for the man.
Yeah, but like you want to find true love also, but true. You need the financial support. So this is what you need in true love and a relationship. So I understand you, but this is a mistake you did before. So what do you conclude about that?
Okay, my conclusion is that this man is not stingy because he does takes me to expensive places, buys me gifts and flowers, and show cares and chivalry, the gentleman gestures. And however, I think the reason he asked me such a question is likely because he had been previously traumatized by some other woman before who only used him for his money.
Yes.
So consequently, he might find it difficult to trust people easily, and so he asked this question, which served as a test for me.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and obviously, I didn't pass.
No, you didn't. But maybe if another man asks you the same question, you will know how to respond, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you'll pass the test.
Yeah. And as a result, the guy vanished after that day.
Yes, I understand why he did that, though.
Yeah, and we still keep kind of maintain a small connections on Instagram.
Okay.
And recently we reconnected after a few months, and this time his attitude towards me totally changed. After I expressed the right sentiments that he wanted to hear, I said all the things that he wanted to hear, and he even took me to the shopping mall after we had lunch, and he would expressing he would want to give me a gift.
Okay, that's amazing. That's a good end of story, even if you did a very bad mistake, because you knew what to say, because men just needs to hear words from women, and women needs action from men. So if you say what he wants to hear, then it's just perfect. Then he will do actions for you, like financial support or gifts,
Exactly.
or like going to the restaurant with you. So no, it's a good thing you did that, and you keep, you learn from your mistake, and it's a good end of that story, though.
I think, actually, I do think like I want the money in a relationship doesn't really. It's the same. Like if you love somebody and you also want to have the sex from them, but
Yeah.
are you taking advantage from them? Not really.
Yeah, for the like the sexual,
So,
intimacy.
so one thing I really don't understand is like why the society is putting a stigma on women who want money in a relationship, and I think especially after this like Me Too movements,
Yeah.
and also the feminism movements, like
Yes.
this is even more wrong. But for me, like I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I do understand your point, but it depends of cultures and how they grow up in which kind of family. Because in China, like in Asian countries, I think maybe I'm not so that sure, but there is those men's love and they're like working to provide for family, spending a lot of money,
Yeah.
like to for their wife and kids. So it will be trying to find a Chinese maybe man for you because they love to provide.
And conclusionally, I think when a man said like what kind of a girlfriend that you want to find, when a guy just said I want a pretty and a young girlfriend, no one would say them, no one would blame them for wanting that. So what's wrong with the girl that wants a wealthy man? Why would people put
okay,
bad
maybe
things?
yeah. Why do they do that? I have no idea, but I do have my idea. It will be like because beautiful and young, it's you, and that is something I cannot change because it's yourself. But money, being a wealthy man, you are working for being wealthy. You work for money, or you're like having a lot of money. So this is something you have, but it's not you. So maybe this is a slight difference, I would say. I prefer like handsome men. So yeah, I want someone that like taller than me and everything. And when I say that, I like, oh wow, you have so many like standards like so high. But like it's just like I want a wealthy man. It's kind of the same. They want I want a brunette like small and petite, innocent, blah blah. Like why we cannot say those things? It's weird. But yeah, another episode for that though.
Yeah, sure.
So I've learned from the story you just told me if that is it is wrong to verbally claim such intention in front of a guy, like especially in the early stage of a relationship, like telling him in the face, I'm a gold digger. So in this case, you have this exercise a certain level of hypocrisy to achieve your desired outcome. Like you need to fake it and hide your true intentions.
Yeah.
So you being a hypocrite, but like you need to do that. Yeah.
You don't need to tell them in face.
Yes.
And you don't have to. You should never admit you are there for his money. Even he understood that you're here for his money. But guys, they don't want to feel in that way. And so I do believe passive manipulation is always the best way if you want to manipulate someone. Yeah. Because most of the time, people don't want to hear the truth. And they don't care about the truth. Even they don't want to admit it. But what they really want is just pleasure, illusion, fantasy, and play. Yeah, like how do we say? Yeah, it's just a story that goes like a movie. Yeah, and this is the ultimate reason why the sugar babies and gold diggers always get what they want from the men, because they are so good at create these fantasies for them. Yeah. And they're just selling a fantasy to those men, You think like those men are so stupid and they can see through the mist and they don't know what's going on. Some of them maybe are stupid, but mostly they know. They know, they understand, but they don't want to admit it because they just want to live their fantasy with this dream woman. Yeah. And even know the truth, they wouldn't care as long as they are still thinking like they're in a perfect relationship and this relationship still benefit him. And in a way. Yes, in an emotional way. Or in a sexual way. And you're providing what they want, and they wouldn't care because what you say to people doesn't matter. But what you make them feel, this matters the most. And yeah, of course, and I see what you mean. And even men, especially those that are like real wealthy, take pleasure in spoiling women they care about with their wealth, because this is the only thing that they can give a woman. Maybe sex, but it's more like not the only thing, but the main thing. The main thing they can give, like security, and security comes with money, financial like stable, and but like. It's they can give sex, but like this is not what really woman wants, and this is what the woman can give also. And of course they don't like gold diggers, but they know that they're dating one, but they just don't want to admit it. Right.
Yes, this is what I think about.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so women just, yeah, as gold digger, you can be in a relationship. You can not at start. You can just like not starting with having sex with him or like intimacy and being cuddling, kissing him already in this like early dating like stage, but you start because you're just creating a fake real relationship.
It's more like how do you say, like there is a similarity between those two. Women want to please the man they love with the best sex, but if you're asking sex for women in the early relationship, any woman would be feel offended that they don't want to be asked this way. Same for men. Like if they do have money, they do want to spoil women with what they earned
Yeah,
with their money, but they don't want women to come to ask for them for the first.
yeah,
It's the same thing.
yeah. It's kind of the same. Yeah, when a man asks me like on the first date, like, yeah, do you want to come back to my place? I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No, this is way too early. Like I want to get him more, and
Yeah.
but this is a red flag for me.
Yeah.
So you cannot but show your red flags because as a gold digger,
Mhm.
we are like, I'm not, but like, okay, we understood each other. It's a red flag.
Yeah.
So you need to hide it.
Yeah, like later on in a relationship, you would naturally want to make love with this man.
Mm.
You would not just naturally.
And as he will naturally give you gifts and provide you and financial support your needs.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, do you have other examples like of somebody else that you know, or I don't know?
There is a huge failure for one gold digger, and she
Who is
failed
she?
it. I'll tell you later. She failed it because she's too greedy. So
Okay.
back to the 80s, there was a famous actress in Hong Kong,
Mm.
and she caught the attention of the big figure in the film industry back in Hong Kong. And after they had a passion night together, the big figure handed her a blank check and asked her
The
to.
big figure, like a guy?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
they had a passion night together.
Yeah.
And he asked her to fill in any amount that she desired.
On the check.
Yes.
Wow.
And the actress filled in a shocking number on that check.
Like multiple zeros.
Yeah.
Maybe too many.
Maybe too many zeros.
Yes.
That's enough to get the guy to be furious after he saw that check.
Yeah.
Because he think he was being taken advantage of.
Mm.
And that, as a consequence,
Mm-hmm. What happened?
he asked the people to kidnap her and rape her and took the videos of
my.
that.
Okay, this is a horrible story you just told
Yes.
me, and I'm shocked that this is like in French like a shoot. Like this is the end, and like, oh my god, we don't know why this happened, but like, yeah. So this man was very like, he is in the mafia or something like that.
But he could be like,
Okay.
like he's a man with
We don't
status.
know.
But man can become angry if you asking too much.
Yes. So yeah, that's why don't be greedy.
Yeah, it's
So,
important.
This is good, and so we can get to the advice and the mistakes that you did. We can learn from them and learn also from the mistake of this actress in Hong Kong. So, how to get the bread? Advices. So,
Alright.
tell me your first advice.
Okay, I'll be start. So first of all, be the giver first. I'm not talking about as a lady, you shouldn't be giving a man financially, but you should offer them the emotional support, positive energy, and you have to know how to massage his ego when you guys are together, and ensure the time that you spend together is all full of enjoyable moments, and you have to be 10 out of 10 fun time. And trust me, if this man does have money, and he will naturally feel wanting to reward you and pamper you with what he has.
Yeah, I like this. I like this advice. This is
Mhm.
remember this. And yeah, you told me about hinting to get like just a few minutes ago while we were not recording. Sorry. So give me this advice to like for all listeners.
Okay, you have to show your interest and appreciations on materialistic stuff and in the shopping mall, and you can be, for example, if your friend has a beautiful ring, and when you and your friend and your man together, you should like take her hand and look at the ring. It's like, oh wow, it's such a beautiful ring,
I
and where
would
did
love
you get
to
it from?
have this one too. You know, like
Just like if a man he cares about you, he'd notice like how long that your eyes lays on those stuff.
yeah.
And later on, this is like a planting a seed in his mind. And later on, if he wanted to get you something, the first thing that pop up, maybe it's this ring
Yeah,
or
because
something else.
he knew that
Mhm.
you would love to have this.
hints work the best. Like hinting always working better than demanding.
Yes, but like hinting, don't try to hint too hard because he will know that this is weird. Like,
Yeah.
why always talking
Yeah.
about rings? But I understand. So, my time for my advice. So, I would say, woman, in the history of time and everything, we are weak, quote unquote, weak and vulnerable. Like, when we put a man in front of us, like he is stronger than us. So you need to portray the man as a prize in like shining armor who comes to rescue the lady. Like it appeals to every man's innate like desire to be a hero. Like when they're kids, they just play this superhero, Batman, like Superman, thing like that, and they want to be firemen, policemen. They want to rescue. They want to save the life like of the weakest, like woman, I would say, or child, of course. But we are like the same. So they want to save the world and protect his woman because like he loves his woman, of course. And if it is often the most effective strategy to approach him with a request that conveys, your need for his assistance. You need this man. He can help you. You cannot do that without him. And so you can make him feel like he's the savior capable of rescuing you from this, kind of situation that you're in, and he's the only one that can help.
In other words, you have to make him feel like by the process of fulfilling your desires and your needs, this also fulfilled his ego.
Yeah, because he's like, I would say, okay, I use this word a lot, but okay, for the first time on this podcast, I'm going to say always, because I see men as puppies. So for the next advice, if he asks, like, if he give you money and everything, you will just, as a puppy, the same, you give you a treat. Like, you don't be greedy, you don't ask for things, but when he does something for you, like when he do something for you, then you just say, oh, thank you, you saved my life, you're so nice, blah blah blah, like, oh, thank you so much, I like you so much, blah blah blah. Like, it's just like a puppy. You ask the puppy, to sit, and then you give the puppy the treat because he did what he was asked.
Worked for.
Yeah, he worked for that. So it's kind of the same for men. Like, they do something and then they just want a reward, a treat from the woman. And women have, the word of affirmation. They need words of affirmation. So you need to always be in the attitude of appreciation, and when he give you something, you always express like gratitude, even if it might be like a small gift, just one rose and not 10, but like it's okay, he gave you something. So you just like, thank you so much, it's amazing, this rose smells so good, blah blah, you're very happy, and you smile to him and maybe give a kiss. It's a treat for men. And so he will be like, oh wow, these small things, she likes it so much, then I will give her even more. And
I imagine if I give her bigger things, how happier she's gonna be.
Yes, he wants, like, men want a woman to be happy. Maybe not all men, but like usually they want you to be happy.
No, if he is a healthy man, he wants a healthy relationship, and he do wants you to be happy.
Yeah.
Because only happy people can provide happiness.
Yes.
Who doesn't want to be with a happy person?
And if he will be generous and even more when you show like a big appreciation, and like being like, oh wow, this is amazing, you shouldn't do that just for one rose. The next time he will like send you 100 roses. You don't know. And to like conclusion also, it's like it is his money, it's not yours, so he possesses the right to utilize, like, to use this money as he's pleased. Like, you cannot ask him.
Don't take his money as your money.
Yes, like he's earning money, but like for giving you gift, not for you asking for gift.
Be entitled, but don't be too entitled.
Yes. So by demonstrating appreciation, you will likely observe that the man becomes increasingly generous in his giving. But
and I do have another one to add on. Avoid portraying yourself as a desperate for his money, and you should always act financially secure, and because you are fully capable to provide for yourself, and it is his privilege to demonstrate his ability to provide for you, and you're just simply offering him an opportunity to prove himself if you ask him for help. And don't confuse the two, like you'll be asking, if I act like financially secure, how can this man add more in your life? No, like you can always have an excuse of, like, for example, your family members have a health condition and they need money for hospital, or you need money to pursue your degree. And so that's why the best is like you should have a job at least, so you're titled. Even you literally earning like 500 a month from this job, but you still do have the one. So this, in this way, like men know like you're trying, and you're, like people want to help people who are trying. If you're not trying at all, you just like tell people I don't have any job, like people wouldn't want to help you.
I don't want to try. I don't have any job. I'm just here to ask money from you.
No,
like
this
if
is
you're
wrong.
Yeah, this is so wrong. And if you're like the one that is, I'm trying my best. I'm not successful as you, but like I still try my best to earn my money by myself. But like he could help you a lot, and he would love to help you because you're trying your best.
Yeah, and also if he asked you if you are there for the bread,
for the bread,
you should admit that you should not lie. No, I don't love money, because everyone knows it's a lie. The way how you should say it, that you should say you are gratified by money, but make it clear that you will only appreciate and accept the financial support from the man that who you genuinely love, and make him feel different and make him feel special, by offering money. And this is his privilege to even offer you money. Yeah,
because it's a privilege to offer you money because you choose this man.
Yeah, because you wouldn't just accept money from some freaking random man in the street.
It's weird, like why he's like, maybe he will kidnap you, and after, I don't know, like
because
things.
You're not a, I don't know if I can say that word here, but HOE.
Yes. We understood. Everybody understood. Okay, so I think it's my time to tell a story. This is like a story that happened like a few weeks ago, but I used all those, maybe most of these advices. I think it's a good story to end this
go ahead.
episode. So let me share this all the details and how everything unfolded through text and phone calls. I haven't even met this guy, but like it's a modern day story and of clever communication and emotional manipulation, as we like it. So the guy just called me to check on how my day was going, and I just intentionally sounded very sad and stressed, but I didn't want to share too much with him at first. So he will became very curious and concerned, and he kept pushing me to open up about what was bothering me. But I was like, no, it's okay, don't worry, blah blah blah. You know how to do that. So that's when I decided to finally introduce the topic of like my rent, like my fake rent is like just bullshit, and money troubles. Like I was like a carefully orchestrated conversation where I gradually revealed supposed financial difficulties without, directly asking for his help. So if he couldn't provide for this, there was also a test for me. Like if he couldn't provide for this, then I will be able to go on vacation with him.
You created a disconvenience for him too, because if you cannot, you're stressed a bit by the rent money, and you won't enjoy the vacation with him, because also, of course he wants to go on vacation with you.
Yeah, so that's a thing for him, and it can bother
bothering him also, not just you.
Not only me. So it was kind of a causality and a bad thing for him. So to add this authenticity, like to this situation, to this like bullshit situation, my friend Amber, right here, sent me a fake email. She just wrote an email with a eviction risk message, like from my landlord,
Right.
So this way I could
that
easily
so well.
Yeah, that works. We just like, you write so well this email. I was like, wow, if I received this one day of my landlord, I will be, this is a fucked up situation. But like this way I could easily show the man a screenshot of this email, but I cropped everything that with her name, of course, during our phone conversations. So when I shared this screenshot with him, he became even more empathetic and eager to offer his support, because he was like, okay, this is real. Like the combination of my distressed attitude and the evidence, like the proof I presented, made him believe that my situation was real and really like urgent, and also bothering him if I couldn't go on vacation with him. So I just was so desperate and acting, I'm so good at acting. I should be an actress also. Showing the gravity of the issue I was facing. I was like so stressed and everything.
And he sends the money like in 2 seconds, I guess.
No, 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 no. It was not like this easy, girl. I haven't told you the whole story. I'm telling you right now.
Right.
So no, I just, manipulate the conversation through like the phone call to make him want to help, make him feel like he could be a hero for me. So I just shared just enough information to evoke his sympathy and generosity. And as I planned, of course, I knew his concern for my well-being led him to offer financial assistance without me explicitly asking for it. The power of this, communication by phone and everything, and my carefully constructed narrative, like bullshit story, had achieved like the desired outcome. Like,
Wow.
I plan everything, and when I have something in mind, I will get it in
Yeah.
a way. So this approach.
Congratulations.
Thank you. This approach just allowed me to, secure the financial help I needed while maintaining, a sense of mystery and intrigue. Like my life is like full of, things happening, and he can be my hero maybe again. So it's like pretty nice. Like, and I gave you hit the treat. Like I'm like, oh wow, you shouldn't do that. No, I'm good. I don't want to bother you with that situation. But like, oh, you're so generous. Like you just saved my life. Thank you so much. Blah blah. And yeah, so it's just like a persuasive communication for like what you want, and you will get it.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, he was so moved by this urgency of my rent situation. The guy not only offered to help, but just like the rents I needed to pay, like the amount, but he also like went above and beyond by providing me the double of the amount.
Wow.
Like I was like, oh wow,
he doubled it.
He doubled it. Like I was like, oh wow, this man. I like him. I will keep him with me. So yeah.
So yeah, I think like the key from your story, like what I can learn from, first of all, acting vulnerable as a person, like as a girl, a little girl that who's need help from a hero, and second, most importantly, like you need to create a kind of disconvenience for this guy too. So if he doesn't help you, he wouldn't able to see you, or like this is not convenience for him. I think the best excuse is just to act. You're gonna be stressed. For example, you need money and to pay off the bill or pay off the rent. Otherwise, you'll be stressed and you won't enjoy the date with him. And he doesn't want to be with the unhappy woman. In order to get to happy, of course, he have to move these obstacles in your life. How he's like he will work every effort to remove that obstacle.
Yes, this obstacle, like the money problems, and that
if this can be like solved by money, why not? If he does has a lot of money.
So for him, money is not a problem. For me, it is.
Yeah.
So he can help me with money, then it's a good thing for him because he cannot help me. Maybe he can, take a luggage or anything. And at the end, of course, I went on vacation with him, and it was amazing. We had such an amazing time. He's an amazing guy, and I think I will keep the story with him, like
all right,
a relationship. I don't know yet.
Okay, let's see. All right, so this experience serves us as a reminder of the power of the strategy, passive, and emotional manipulations, and we can talk more about it.
Like manipulation is like how everybody, I think, maybe I don't know everybody, but everybody manipulates like in their life in a way. In a little
Don't
bit.
Take it in a negative way. Some people like when they heard the word of manipulation,
it's
they think you're a bad
but
person, or like you only know how to gaslight people. I think if you only use a slight amount of manipulation in your relationship, it actually can help.
Yeah. This is what I do. I do use the word manipulation a lot, but I know that people can see that it's a bad word. But I manipulate sometimes my friend to like push them to like be successful and like fulfill their dream, and just pushing people. I manipulate the way they think, so it's like they could do better. So it's like a good thing also. Maybe
sometimes a man prefer to be with a gold digger and who use a manipulation strategy rather than a woman who does not use any manipulation strategy at all. Because if you make the choice, the first woman is one like who knows how to manipulate, but providing them enough emotional values and amazing sex and all the stuff they wanted in a relationship. And the second woman is a completely honest woman who has no game at all. But she would just tell all the truths, and maybe sometimes she says stuff like men don't want to hear, but emotional and always demanding stuff, demanding emotional value from men. Ask any man which one they want to be. Of course, they would choose the first one. Yeah, because in a relationship, I think, I'm not a man, but I would think as a man, if I was one, like, of course, I prefer a relationship with someone that's smart, like, dumber than me, like,
of course he wants to have the power. Just let him think that you're like, dumb, but he's the smarter one. But of course you're smarter than him, so you can manipulate him. He doesn't, know. But like he will choose a relationship like that firstly because there is action, there is like suspense in a relationship. You need to have like a movies, like a Hollywood kind of love story. Yeah, and just the boring, honest woman that just say everything, ask for everything directly and everything. It's just like, okay, you have a boring life. And men like love adrenaline. They need something, to be some danger in the relationship. Maybe like I will stop the relationship because I was upset because something didn't happen I wanted with the man, and he will be like, oh no, I love her, I will send her more flowers or gifts, I don't know.
Especially for wealthy men, if they do have money, of course they want to purchase something. They want to purchase the greatest experience in a relationship.
Yes, and we do both like want that also. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, just put yourself in another person's shoes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess like we talked a lot today on the episode, we almost reached to the end.
Yes.
So stay tuned next week for more Amber and Sophie show, aka the S.
So follow us on every platform at Amber and Sophie show, and let us know if you have questions or situation that you want us to help with, or even topics you're interested for the next episode.
Ciao, ciao.